There we go. Sorry about that. I realized the mic wasn't working. So we are here. Welcome back. MTG Joe here. Little bit of mic issues to start off, but we are here for Qualifier weekend. It is Edge of Eternity sealed. We got at least 2 play-ins. We'll see how the first one goes. If we're having fun, we'll run a second, but been saving up playing points, earning them in the events. So we'll try to win out this weekend. So it's play-in this weekend for best of 1. There'll be a best of 3 play-in, and then the actual qualifier weekends next weekend. You win out, win some sealed, then you do draft day 2, and then eventually make Arena Championship, win a lot of money, and try to avoid VV mirrors all day like Arena 9. So we are going to give this a go and see how this plays out. So 20 play points into the machine. Let's open our 6 packs and see what we get. So Burgeoning lets us play lands. Whenever opponent plays a land, we have at least a creature land in red-green, Rust Harvester, Loading Zone. So if counters would be put on, it puts twice that many counters. Consult, Archenemy's Charm, 0-point Ballad, all reasonable cards as well. So we'll see kind of what we got. So let's see our rares right now. Rares, Mythics. So we got really just these. Nothing like groundbreaking, I would say. Let's see what we got in terms of our lands. Just this in terms of fixing, which also isn't great. So it's going to make this sealed a little difficult. So if we look at red-green, if we go like a more aggressive deck, we have like a couple pangolins, which is nice. The Rust Harvester is not too bad. This makes artifacts. This is just some card advantage. Let me do it this way here so the spells are bigger. Front line, beginning of your end step. If you control 2 or more creatures, you put a counter on creature. I mean, it's not terrible. Like if we're just looking to go something aggro, Pain for all. So enchant creature when it enters, enchanting creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. Whenever it's dealt this damage, deals. So it's basically like Boros Reckoner style effect, or Screaming Nemesis. Kind of refills your hand. At the beginning, so basically if you warp, it gets a counter. This isn't too bad, just as like cheap removal. So if we look at that, we can go red-green. We have Edge Rover. We have like the fights. We have a Curiosity here. Just kind of protection, trample. We have like the Lander. Fight spell here. Kind of looking up like that. So we're looking Gruul. We're kind of looking like this. So it's not like terrible, I would say. We can kind of fill in the edges along the way. So that would be Gruul. So if we just kind of dump everything, let's see what our blue-black's like. We might go Teamer. We can see what that's like. So if we look at our blue, because Consult the Star Charts is pretty reasonable as just a card advantage spell. Annul's okay. So our white's like really shallow. We have like the Luminary. I guess what gold cards do we have? Biomechan is pretty good as like a green splash in here. Or we go Golgari. So you can kind of take a look. Like Consult's good. The Blast isn't bad. Just as kind of like a tempo play. This just gives hexproof. This is another kind of tap effect. We got no Cryogen Relics, which is usually a card you want. The stun here is pretty good. You could untap, doesn't really do too much. So I don't think our blue's that great. Like maybe a splash that we could accommodate. And black, Embrace Oblivion is okay, is a cheap removal. We have Virus Beetle, which I usually like. Arc Enemy's Charm, we have to be pretty heavy into black. I do like the Delicacy just as removal. 0 Point Ballad. It's not bad as like a sweeper. This gives us some card advantage, some removal. So black might not be a bad splash if we're looking at it. So it's like black or blue is a minor splash, or we can just go Gruel. I think I like the black. Like we wouldn't play Arc Enemy's Charm. Just it's too mana intensive. But like the card draw can be good in like a low to the ground aggressive deck we're trying to push. So it's like if we're looking at it, I would probably do maybe the Virus Beetle. I would take the card draw, I'd play this. Maybe that, the Convoke here. I don't know if I'd want to be on 0 Point Ballad if we're a little bit more of an aggressive deck. Like we can see with that, unless we skip on, like what are we getting in green? It's not the best. Like red-green gives us access to Raging Ravine, which I like as a creature land, but if we skip off green, like we get the, I think I like our red cards better. Because we have like a little bit more aggression, some removal on the top end, Pangolin. So I'd play this, probably play the Rust Harvester. This is fine. I like these spaceships as removal. We'll play this as a fight spell. Play the Raging Ravine. We probably skip on some of these like random Kavus then. So have them suggest lands. And then if we go play you, Land Rover, Pollinator, Sammy's Curiosity, the Life Gainer. This is basically removal in the format that's pretty flexible, makes you landers. I like this. I don't think we're really on the counters theme. Like nothing's really, it's just this Aura Plate Pangolian and then Rust Harvester. I guess we have some counters, but I think this is going to be a little bit more win more. I do like you. Close Encounter in here. So as an additional cost, choose a creature you control when it deals damage equal to the power of chosen creature. So just some more removal there. There is the combo with Melt Strider's Resolve and Pain for All that you could kind of fight the creatures. A little bit of a concern is we don't have too much of a top end. So I think we might have to look at some of these red ones. So being your end step, if you control 2 more tap creatures, could be reasonable. This one as well, just with the void, kind of gets bigger. So if we look at that, how many artifacts? 11 artifacts plus kind of like our food synergies. This can be some reanimation. So Gene Pollinator, Rust Harvester, Carrion's not bad. Like early game, it could just push some damage through. It's an artifact as well. Maybe we don't play the Virus Beetle. Enters, discard a card if you do draw 2, and then you sacrifice to create a 2/2. So it gives you basically 1 card loot. I like this just because it's removal, that you can get some stuff. This is cheap removal, this is card advantage, this is removal. Just being able to trade. Maybe we don't play Seed Ship Impact, but I do like just the flexibility of this of dealing with it's a bit tricky. Like, this isn't the best pool, I would say. So we're kind of playing with what we have. Like, I would say we don't necessarily have any big bombs. Leveraging a bit in terms of our mana. So I think here, like Virus Beetle, maybe we cut that. This can just help with some life gain. We got a few pieces of removal, Gene Pollinator. We don't have too many early landers, but it can still help fix our mana because you can tap a permanent to make colored mana. I like the Drix. We don't have too much else otherwise, so I think we're cutting. Just have to be mindful. Artifact count. That is trimming on our artifacts. Maybe we don't play this, instead play like the Virus Beetle, but I like the life gain. It can help us in races, especially with this just from like a void perspective. Keeps us drawing cards. This just being a flyer is reasonable. Flyer. Probably still play Rust Harvester. I'm just wondering if we can get away with playing 16 lines. I think we can. Between like the card draw here, our curve's not like the highest necessarily. And it's best of one, so we have hand smoother. We look at our distribution. We're heavier red-green, which we have access to. I think we're okay like this. 5/5/5. We do want to hit a black, but it might be more important to hit the green than the black, so maybe do it like that for the mana. See how that plays out. Think like we got good removal here, which I like, and these are powerful. That can just draw you cards and bolt your opponent. I think if we look at what we're not playing, I don't really want to sack my early stuff. The fight here is not bad, but the thing is we don't have like big chunky creatures, so we're often going to probably be falling behind. This one's interesting, but again, we don't have like the highest toughness. I don't think we want to be on burgeoning because we're not going to be consistently drawing lands. The Kavu, I think we have better options. Double black, I don't want to be on. This isn't bad, but it trades down after. This is a reasonable mana sink. You know, I think I'm going to play this over the Seed Ship Impact. We have vote out, we have a couple cheap removals, and then just try to not lose to a big artifact. There's also like the Shattered Wings, which is kind of reasonable, but I think we try it like this. I don't think we're missing out on it. This is a strong card, but you need to be kind of in that artifact shell. And I don't want to double splash, like 2 black pips here. This would be good if we went Simic, but if we look at our blue cards, they're just... We have some bounce, but I think this black removal is better. We can go Sultai instead of red. What do we get in Sultai? We get the Stunner. We get this as a mana sink. I like Sultai Control, but I like these vehicles. They're pretty good. Let's run it like this. I think I'm happy like this. Anything glaring, chat, before we run this? It's Pain Train. See if we could Screaming Nemesis, folks. Let's see how this goes. You're usually hoping in sealed, like one of the colors really pulls you in a direction. When like our white was pretty narrow, it's not giving us too much. gonna keep this. We're on the draw. We have a couple plays. That's a good start. Probably gonna have to kill that. I'm gonna lead on this because next turn I can gain a life off this. Ideally we draw red so I can play red source. Would have been nicer if we could have been on the play. They can tap this if they want to generate another mana. Yeah. I mean, they used it on a bit of a weaker one. Quite annoying that we've not drawn a land in our first 3 draws. Kind of cool though is they can tap the enchantment. I probably gotta fight this, which is kind of annoying. Let's see what they do here. This being fight, oh no, this deals damage. Okay, so that's all right. Take a chance here that they have a protection effect. Okay, so we kind of trade off like that. We can take 3 here, we can start pumping in, and then this makes an artifact creature. I love a black source here. Pollinator's not bad. I can get that going next turn. Kind of 2-for-1 trade here. To any target. I can go face with it, but I think we're just doing this. Not the best use of mana, but just not hitting the black. Bit awkward. Take 7 here. Okay. So can attack in. So 1, 2. See if we can bait them here. Kind of have to do this now. Now I'm forced to block. We took a little bit of a line there, a little bit riskier, but kind of forced into blocking here now. Just not being able to hit them. Like if we were on the play, we could have got around this. But I'm kind of forced, not being able to get the trigger, and yeah, they just dump their hand. Kind of stuck now. Nah. Just couldn't sneak it through. I think on the play we probably win that one. Bit frustrating. Just no way to kind of trigger Void. And then everything having like 4+ toughness kind of got us. Alright. Hand looks nice and aggressive. If we could hit a land, it's pretty solid. Would love to be on the play for a game. Come on, give me a black land. It might have been right to just be Gruul. Black line would be great. Honestly, any untapped blind would also be good. Just getting Pangolin bigger. Naturally into your 3 colors. Okay. Not hitting black's a bit annoying there, but we can hold back, block with Edge Rover. And it attacks, and you put a creature from your hand into play. You're 4 to activate. Just not drawing the black. Like we're neither drawing spells nor drawing black cards here. Just frustrating. Just chunk in here. They're going to be able to hit us for a 4/5, but unless I draw something, we're pretty much dead on arrival. They're just getting gas after gas. Our pool is pretty weak. Problem is, like, yeah. Nothing in this hand worked. Well, that was a shitty sealed. We got one more. Okay, that's good. Cosmogoyf can be okay. Ice Tail. Okay, so we're looking pretty good in green-black. Enchant creature you control. Whenever it attacks, put target creature from defending player's graveyard into the battlefield. Tapped an attacking void. Beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless in online. So let's see what we got. We're likely going to be green. Edge Rover, Stinger's good. Harmonizer's good. This can be alright. Alright. We got one command bridge to help. So in white, we have triple Shepherd. But no good one drops. This one's not bad from a counter's perspective. We have one relic. I don't really like playing counters. It's pretty expensive. This ship's pretty good. Our black looks pretty solid here too. Like Sentry, depressurize 2 of the sack outlets. We got like the Void Dude. We don't have too much in terms of guess it's not like the best. In red, we got Kavu, we got one of these. Whenever a non-token artifact. Not the best red. Power and toughness is equal to the number of cards you own in exile and its toughness. So how do we get cards in exile? I mean, it's not going to be that big. So there is a little bit of the downside there. Shattered Wings isn't terrible in this format. Kind of play it like that. Because the removal is not great here. The red's not that good. We do white instead. What do we have as removal? Focused Fire, which is like pseudo removal. We don't have any banishing light style effects. Play the Flyer. So we can warp. That stays in exile. We don't have too many ways to exile is the problem. How are we making artifacts or getting value? there's like the pump effect. You can play one more. Just kind of like win more. Don't really want the Thoughtseize. This could just be card draw if needed in a pinch. So it's like, do we want another Broken Wings? Do we want the Cosmogoyf? It's not bad. Shattered Wings is okay. So that's a lander. Problem is, like, we don't have a massive amount of ways to make landers either. I'm going blue. It's another just bad pool. Like, we don't have much to sacrifice. Deals 10 damage up to one target creature. Probably just playing this as like top end. Probably ship that. I don't think... If we had more cheap stuff or like cheap creatures, I would do the sack, but similar with this, you want like an artifact to sack. We're just not in the kind of artifact. Green, red, splash, black removal. The red's not that great. Like, this never really did anything in our games. It just gets chumped. Sack a land could be reasonable. We tried that the last game doing the 3 colors and we lost more to the mana base than anything else. Like, the red's pretty weak. Like, none of these are really jumping out at excitement. Like a 7 mana 4/4. I think we run this. This format hasn't really resonated with me. There's so many like synergy based cards that they don't really work. The mana fixing is really bad. And there's like very few powerful card advantage engines. All right. Not the best. But I can sack block on 3 to draw a card. We're going to get run over by an aggressive deck. But I can gain some life, try to get the worm down. Let's try. Okay. I think I'm going to lead on nutrient block. So I can just sack this for value. I can surveil. I think I will bin it. More than anything, I want the double green. See if they want to trade here. I could be wrong, just like take the land there, but I can double up this power next turn. Perfect. I guess the thing is, like, do I want to warp this for the turn, double its power, or just get this into play to start doubling power next turn? I think we crack for 6. just because it's a nice attack there. This lets me play it next turn, and then hopefully hit a land. Alright. So I can set up the attack this turn. Or set up this turn, next turn depressurize, and Germinating Worm. Hopefully hit a land. It's frustrating. I think we keep that. I'll trade off here with the Sentry. See if they want to attack. Okay, well, I will trade here. See if they want to double block. This means it's a bit worse for them there. We're still at 22. They have 4 cards in hand. Lines are okay if they go like a big ship or something. Big flyer, we have an answer. Otherwise, just a 5/5 here. So I'm gonna reanimate for ice till next turn. The question is, do I do this preemptively, connect in for 3, or let them do this? But this says no, so they would get a counter. So let's just destroy this now. I think I want the land. Because Ice Till can let me play the land from my graveyard after. So they'll have the Death Toucher, which is going to be kind of annoying. But if I can get my spaceship going, it's good. So I think here we play the black land. Just pass the turn. I could get the spaceship going and then it's just 7 power. That's fine. I can also just blow that up. I think we're doing this. How many lands do I have left? I kind of just don't want to... Still have quite a few lands left, so... We'll take the hit this turn. That'll gain him some life, but it requires him to attack in, and then I can crack him for a bit. We're also going to gain some life back. I wouldn't. I guess that doesn't really do too much right now. If I play the land, I can play Edge Rover too, so I think we do it all here. This needs 7, so... I think that's fine trade. I mean, if they have a sweeper, they have a sweeper, but we can't really play around the sweeper here. They don't have reach, they're dead in the air. Alright, cool. Big dumb spaceship wins. On the board. Is there anything we want to change? Land a turn, gets +0 when it dies, return it to the battlefield. Cosmogoyf doesn't really do much. We didn't really have sack fodder in any of those games, so I think we're okay there. The only other one would be maybe this here. Just helping to set up our early draw, but I think we're okay. I mean, we already did better than the first one. First one was 0-2. So let's try to at least get some gems back. Opponent goes first. I think I'd rather use this later. Okay. Well, I do want that to die. Gain the life. Play this tapped. They're not gonna block anyways, so... No attacks here. To me, this seems like a must kill. Just pass the turn. I think I'm fine trading there. Keeps the board clean for a while I set up. So they're gonna fetch for a land here. Mana-wise, it's not the best, but I'm not reviving anything this turn, so I think we do this. Would have loved to be able to, like, crack this Linder for the turn. Jeez. Well, they had some good ones. We did not have some good ones. So I need to crack that Linder for sure. I need to get to 7 to kill this. Okay, Might Form will be reasonable at a later turn. Both of these are solid on color. And they get double robots. It's very good for them. Let's get black. Friend. We very much needed. We needed that land. Probably should have kept one of these back. Needed that land. How many lands did I mill? Just one. This thing's a house. My hope is that they spend time animating this. And then I'll seed ship. But them just being able to spew tokens now would have been really good to get it out that turn there. So we'll destroy that. Chunk out some damage here. Yeah, the removal too. And we're just not getting anything. We had 3 draws at a land. The land lets us answer this. They don't get this board. And they're just spamming the board. This card's so hard to deal with if you let it go unchecked. Like, I'm glad we killed this, because this obviously would have gained them a bunch of life, drew more cards. They have overkill? Seems like it. Part of the problem is, like, I can't really afford to crew here. Because I'm just dead. 4 from the Menace. Then I block, block, block. I think I'm dead anyways. They went wide enough there. We need Umbral. But like even the ward on this is really tough to deal with. Yeah, they just... we needed it like 2 turns earlier. I don't understand why they slow rolled the get out either. They could have just pushed extra damage through. This is kind of what I don't like with this format. You're just... They drop a bomb and it's... Okay, well. We need our 7 drop to be able to kill it. What's happening, friend? What is happening? Honestly, at this point, I'll take a disconnect. All right, we're gonna get a rope, or what's happening? What is happening? Okay, we got a rope on them at least, so it's not me. I think we'll keep this. No black, but we got 2/2 drops. Hopefully draw into something. Okay, giving them way too much time now. I'm actually curious to see how many games we've actually been on the draw versus the play. Feel like we've only been on the play 1 game. Hello. Probably just go Zealot this turn. This is a better like 5 drop if we would. I have no clue what they're doing. So first one, we were on the draw both games. Hate them. So I've all 5 games I've been on the draw. Always fun. I think we just do this because it forces through damage anyways. And like we force them off their good creature here. That's fine. So I can do this, put a counter on this. I can do this, that forces them through. This gives me a flying 4/5, which I kind of like. Because this kind of plays around kind of sorcery removal. To play this, accrues it right away. We don't have anything to put into hand right now because we happen to have just some vehicles, but a 4/5 flyer can push through some damage. This can also just put counters on our creatures. I have no clue what's in our opponent's hand. They might just be stuck on like double black stuff. So it could be the siege ship. Like the 2 mana destroy an artifact. Otherwise they would have made this bigger. Okay, so it's just a pump, so it's fine. We still have multiple bodies. We have this that can just deal 10 as well. They're just dead now. Free value! Boom. Got him. Alright. Alrighty. I mean, if our opponent doesn't do anything for the first 4 turns, we can steal some wins. Can I get away with a splash of any sort? I just don't really want to... like mess up my mana too much. The lifelink could be okay, but we're going to have a hard time dealing with it. This is a warp piece, but like most of our vehicles come down after, so it's not the best. Whenever enchant creature attacks, put target creature from defending graveyard on the battlefield tapped and attacking. Again, it's not great. It's like a lot of mana for just an ambush. There's this that's not bad. The only other thing I was thinking is maybe the Wormwall Sweeper. Could play it instead of Nutrient Block. We're not really exiling much. Could play a second Shattered Wings. It's not great against like the early aggressive stuff. I think we just run it back. We got some gems this time at least. Killing me. I think we got a mulligan. Keep but back. Seed ship here, I think. Bit awkward. Like you don't even take advantage of the early landers. This might just have to be a tap line for the turn. Which I don't love. Don't want to take that trade just yet. I could depressurize it. It's an interesting turn. So I could depressurize, draw land, or draw with this, which isn't too bad. That lets me push through some damage. I can play this out, no attack. If I draw land, then I pump, kind of go from there. I think we're just doing this. Jeez, why do they all have good cards and I'm just like random ass Riddler and Relic? Fantastic. Now I gotta keep this overkill or this grave kill for this. Okay, I got Shattered Wings, so Wings can deal with that. No lands in my graveyard. I think we just gotta do this. I guess there was this line, but my thought is if I get a land, then I can play this. Or we're just not gonna draw anything. Gonna keep the land. If they want to trade here, I'm fine. Thing is, they just drew 3 cards off 3 spells. So I can double trade here. think we just have to do, just keep trying to gum up the board. And then just win with something. It's just banger after banger. I gotta just try to kill it on their turn. Hope they don't have a counter. Probably should have just killed this at sorcery speed. Okay, we didn't get punished. Land. We just like binned good cards and then just didn't see lands. What do? Deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life. So this costs 10, 1, 5, 8. So they can activate it next turn, which is super annoying. And it has hexproof, so I can't do anything about it. I don't know if this is worth playing. I guess the downside here is they stun this, but they're gumming up the board. Do need some action. Now it's going to be all the lands. I can take one more hit because then that turns on my spaceship next turn. The question is, do I start to... I think we play one more land. How many lands are left? 7. So we have 7 out of 19. Let's try. No, I wanted that one. Okay, so that was silly from them because they turn on Void now. So at least this is bigger, but the Survey Mechtan can do some work. Do some work. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry, I was just paying attention to the games. I don't do much limited. We just don't have any, like, attrition. And then they just drew 3 cards, which is gross. And we drew a land. And I also can't crew. Spaceship wouldn't have made much of a difference, would it? We just... Our decks just haven't been good. Our pools have been really weak. And we just... There's no card advantage in this deck, so we're just super soft to... The removal here doesn't matter. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. I just do not enjoy this format. It's just like with this pool, I don't think we could have really approached it different. We just didn't, like, we had a weird split. Like, playing this white stuff, there's just not really power to me in these white cards. I guess if you're playing like the Drix and stuff, but We don't really have 1-drops to take advantage, so this is mostly going to become lands. Our green cards are our good cards, but our black is our only removal. We're playing no removal otherwise. Blue, we have 1 relic, and that's it. There's no actual cards. Red, there's no actual cards. Cosmogoyf doesn't actually do anything either, so it's just... Annoying, annoying, annoying. So we ended up turning... We got 2,000 gems for 40 play points. Not the best kind of output. Let's see. We can do 1 game of Historic. I'll probably be back later. We'll do a longer stream for some Constructed, but wanted to try to give this a run, see how it plays. There was a Mardu tokens list. 1 sec. Let me pull it up. This deck looks fun. So for some Historic, just try to wash our palette. So it's kind of like a Mardu Sacrifice Mobilize deck. So we have Headliner, we have Voice of Victory, and then we have Mardu Thunderkite, one of my favorite creatures in the game right now. So it comes in, it's a 3-mana 2/4 flying mobilize 2, and then when it enters creatures you control, get your choice perpetually of Menace, Lifelink, or Haste. So oftentimes it's a 3-mana 2/4 mobilize 2 with haste, but plays pretty nicely. We have bombardments in the deck, just spew a bunch of damage. I might actually play 1 less copy here, and then maybe 1 more copy of... Let's do maybe 1 more copy of Esper Sentinel. I do like the tax that it brings. Stupid bug. Doesn't allow you to... Then you just have stuff dying. You can also play Sephiroth in this as kind of an alternative. But I think we go like this and see how it plays out. Bombardments have diminishing returns, so you're not really always interested in the subsequent copies. Where's Mardu Energy? Has anyone tried out any of these mobilized decks in Historic? We'll see how much Eldrazi and stuff is here. I haven't played Historic in like a month. See what the format's all about. These decks usually are fast enough to pressure. And is fantastic. Triple Amp Raptor. The downside is my bombardment can't go face, neither can my Ajani. It's just... You know what? Not the worst. No creatures. It's actually an interesting turn. I think I'm gonna do this as kind of a setup turn. Oh, it's a stupid ass deck. So let's start with Faithless Looting. Get rid of Leyline. Raucous Theater. And we probably just play Voice here and attack. It's just like a meme deck. They try to steal your deck and then give you bad cards. So, gonna go to combat, get our 2 triggers, get flying, and kind of poke in. So, that was not a real deck. Opponent's having fun, but seen that deck in Alchemy, not so much in Timeless. It's an annoying one because it's just like, here are terrible cards and then they take your good cards. We go first. Let's fetch Island, Guide of Souls, Marionette Apprentice, Mardu Thunder. Doing that just because there's a limited amount of basics, so if we draw into them, it's worse. Next turn I can double spell, so we'll do that. This might be like black-white humans. Do more Guide of Souls. I'm gonna jump the Marionette Apprentice. Actually, I don't have enough for both. So they could trade with the Guide of Souls, but since I have the second one, I don't mind. Because now even if they clean my board, they're taking 5, and then I go with Thundermaw. Crucius! They're probably dead. Bye, friends! I mean, this deck is pretty sick. I actually might want to try that new life gain one as well in like traditional Boros. We can try the from Edge of Eternities, the 3 mana one. Because you can just void it for the turn 1 mana and then it draws you cards, which the deck usually lacks. Opponent goes first. We have Voice. We could play 3 spells. We don't have red mana, but I think it's fine. If we draw red, then we're pretty solid hand. Lead on Guide. I think the opponents might... Alright, well, Opponent wasn't having fun there. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll be back probably later today, and we'll do like a dedicated, probably historic stream. We'll try out a bunch of decks, see what works, what doesn't, maybe do some viewer decks and stuff, but wanted to run the qualifier, so figured I'd do it live. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll be back later today, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.